affect the masses. There's no excuse. You've been loosed.
This is From Destruction to Dignity with Janice Pons. Each week, Janice shares her wisdom to enlighten, educate, and advance the culture in America today. Janice Pons is a mother, author, and free thinker, and your host for our podcast this evening. Now let's join your host, Janice Pons.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. Come on in. Come on in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Janice Pons. I am the host on this show, this podcast, From Destruction to Dignity, Clinical Perspectives, Spiritual Truths. Listen, I am so excited about you joining in with us. We the people, we're on a journey together. We have been on a fact-finding journey together. As we the people, as represented by our beautiful flag, our presidential seal, we are getting knowledge together. I appreciate you sharing the podcast. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your prayers and your support. So many of you, thank you. I'm getting messages from people. I am so grateful. All I can say is thank you. And we're going to continue together because we're going somewhere and it's expecting us when we get there. This is a new year, 2024. And what we've been doing, we have been getting educated together about the structure of our great nation, the order, the structure, how it's set up. Certain things are not even negotiable. And we have learned, as we have shifted a few months ago, about how our taxpayer dollars, 88% of our taxpayer dollars go towards supporting these 5 pillars. You can go back and look at episode 136 where it breaks down the details of that, but framing it, our taxpayer dollars support our elderly, always having their Social Security, retirement, paying for our military, who protects us from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Our education system, where we are paying, our taxpayer dollars are paying for that, and it's under a dictatorship right now. We covered that for an entire month at the end of 2023. Our Medicare, our health care system, always making sure that that's going to be in place on a federal level. Medicaid is paid for on a state level, and making sure we're paying on the interest of our national debt. 5 pillars that actually fits in with the preamble of the Constitution. Is very beautiful to me how it fits hand in glove. So we've been on this fact-finding journey, and with the month of January, we have been dissecting. We're continuing our fact-finding journey as it relates to the pillar of Social Security. And so we're going to continue that because it's just like I got excited, more excited about our nation as challenged as we are, as tight as it is for so many of us, living paycheck to paycheck. We have things that are built in where we support each other. We're loving our neighbor as we love ourselves. And we have things built in through our taxpayer dollars paying for it, where we're not leaving people behind. Now, speaking of leaving people behind, I'm very excited about 2024. Yay! Because this year, we are right in the middle of supporting and very excited about 1 million voices arising all over our nation in fasting and prayer. God is not done with America because we are still here, me and you, and there are at least 210 million Christian Americans, okay? And I updated my data, and actually there are 340 million Americans overall. And we have hope. Some people may have given up. I haven't. Others of us have not. Now, speaking of not giving up, there's something very powerful that's happening this year. We are getting 1 million Mordecais and Esthers on the Washington Federal Mall, October 12th, 2024, on a day of fasting and prayer. I will be there. I want you to come. I want churches to come, ministries to come. I want Americans to come. Leading up to those million voices arising on our Washington Federal Mall, there's an integral part that has to happen first. And that is on April the 13th, 2024, all over the nation, on that Saturday, we are going to be gathered in our state capitals, all over the nation, organizing prayer services in every state capital in America. And a very specific integral part of that is that we've got prayer groups that are being birthed, are already established all over the nation. I have mine is growing. I invite you to have yours as well. There's a beautiful guideline. It's very systemic and very orderly how it's set up. If you want information on how to set up a prayer group, if you want to start your own, or you may decide that you want to be a part of one that's already in your local area, you can see on the screen there. You can get in touch with me at info@janicepons.com, and I can point you, assist you in that direction if that's what you so desire. So put it on your calendar, April 13th, 2024, the meetups in our state capitals all over the nation, culminating into a powerful, anointed, magnanimous, incredible day of fasting and prayer on the Washington Federal Mall. We're believing for 1 million of us, Mordecai's and Esther's. What happened with Mordecai and Esther? Esther, it was said that she was brought into the kingdom for such a time as this. It's our time. I believe that. Join us. Put that on your calendar. So, speaking of us flowing together as one in prayer and in fasting, we're going to continue our fact-finding journey as it relates to Social Security. And what we're going to do as we continue, we're going to break down each category. This week, we are going to get a good understanding on the pillar of Social Security in our nation, retirement. Retirement. Social Security in retirement is really set up in a very powerful, structured way. The Social Security retirement benefit is a monthly check that replaces part of our income when we reduce our hours of working or stop working altogether. That's what that benefit is for. It may not replace all of our income, so it's best to identify other ways to pay for our monthly expenses as we age. So we're talking about planning. Planning, imagine that. So, when do you become eligible that you can retire? You can retire on Social Security benefits, retirement benefits, when you're 62 years old or older. We've worked, we've paid Social Security taxes for 10 years. That's the requirement to be able to qualify. Paid those taxes for 10 years or more. And guess what? They track it for us. Social Security Administration, they track it for us for how many years we've paid those taxes. Now, deciding not to start our benefits can make sense if you have other sources of income. In other words, it's like, I'm going to wait. If we stop working, our benefits will not increase because of additional earnings. So what happens is they calculate our benefits based on our highest 35 years of earning. These are important things to know. If we stop working before we have 35 years of earnings or have low earnings for some years, that's going to affect the benefit calculation. However, if we decide to wait to start benefits after we reach full retirement age, our benefits will increase for each month that we do not receive them until we reach the age of 70. And there's no incentive to delay filing for your benefits after age 70. In other words, 70. And I have people tell me, wait till you're 70, Janice. Okay. So that brings up to me, what's the best age to start the benefits? There is no one best age for everyone. Ultimately, it's our individual choice. We should make an informed decision about when to apply for benefits based on our personal situations. In other words, we got to think this thing through. We need to plan. Our monthly benefit amount can differ greatly based on the age when we start receiving benefits. If we decide to start benefits before your full retirement age, your benefit will be smaller. But if you get it later, if you receive it later, it's going to be a larger amount. But if you get it early, you get it for a longer period of time. That makes sense? Longer period of time, but it'll be smaller. If you go the full retirement age or later, you're going to receive a larger monthly benefit, but for a shorter amount of time. So, why is this important? Some people say, look, I'm going to keep doing this until I'm 70 so I can get, as my mama would call it, a fat check. Oh, boy. And then I remember talking to my colleagues. They said, look, I'm going to go ahead and start this thing at 62. And then some people start at 67. Let's look at this closer. This really involves us thinking and planning. Like I said, you can start it at 62. However, you are entitled to full benefits when you reach your full retirement age. If we decide as Americans to delay taking our benefits from our full retirement age up to age 70, it's just going to be bigger. Now, if we start earlier, it's going to be smaller. Now, before you make a decision, we're talking about decisions, there are advantages and disadvantages to taking your benefit before your full retirement age. So the advantage is that if you start early, it's going to be a longer period of time. The disadvantage, if you start later, you get more, but it'll be shorter. If you delay your benefits until after full retirement age, you will be eligible for delayed retirement credits that would increase your monthly benefit. There are other things to consider as well. We're on a fact-finding journey. We're just getting facts, okay? Why is it worth waiting? Most of my colleagues are telling me, wait, Janice, wait, keep working. And I'm like, oh, what would I do if I wasn't working? Because I could retire. And I have people that don't understand, why are you still working? Well, you know what? I'm making more now in my salary than I've ever made in my life. And that is the first advantage of waiting. You make more money working. Yeah. In some cases, those are the best strategies, but not always. It's all based on the individual. But there are three, they're just kind of no-brainer reasons to claim it at age 67, at the youngest. Some people, 62, you can do 66, anywhere after 62. But there are advantages. Make more money working. That's what I'm still doing. Arguably, the best reason to wait until age 67 is to receive Social Security benefits that you'll probably be able to make more money working. I am grateful for a good salary. It took me a long time to get here. So listen to this. This got my attention. After all, the average Social Security monthly retirement benefit check is $1,837. That's well below the average monthly income of $4,621. That's $55,452 a year. There are some people will say, "Oh my God, I'd love to make that much a year." People are living paycheck to paycheck, and they're going, "Oh boy, 55,000 a year." They like that. Somebody that's making $15 an hour, do you know what their annual income is? $31,200. Yeah, that's the reality for many of our fellow Americans. People are struggling. Some months, it's a struggle for me. It's tight, even with the amount that I make. Why? And I've heard people say, "Well, you know the rich, listen, they live in paycheck to paycheck too. 230 million Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. They may have a lot of money that they have coming in, but they got an equivalent amount that's going out. It's a lot of dynamics going on, man. And you know what? Listen, I'm going to go ahead and say this. We're paying our taxpayer dollars are contributing to these politicians on Capitol Hill making $174,000 a year. Are they warming benches or are they working on behalf of we the people? They are getting ready to shift some gears, buddy. Go ahead and start notifying. What would happen if at least the 210 million Christians start saying the same thing? Here's one. You ready? Here's one. What bills do you have and what committee that you're working for we the people? What bills do you have in what committee? We're going to dissect that thing. Hold on. Because they getting ready to get uncomfortable. And if they don't produce bills that are working on behalf of we the people, we're booting them out. You gotta go. The gig is up. We're paying $174,000 a year for you to warm a seat. And these other activities has come up what they've been doing in rooms. Okay, let's just keep going. Listen. This thing is serious. People are suffering. Somebody is making $15 an hour trying to raise 3 and 4 children. Are you kidding me? They're trying to figure out if they're going to put gas in the car or eat. $15 an hour is $31,200 a year. That's not enough money. It's not. Let me keep going. I'm getting fired up here. But we're going to hold some people accountable. We got some questions. We've got a script. We got some accountability that's going to happen in our nation. We're leading the way. Come on. There's another reason why we could consider waiting. Higher Social Security benefits. That leads us to a major reason why holding off until age 67 to collect Social Security benefit makes sense. Your monthly benefit is just going to be higher. It's going to be higher. Okay? Another reason is more time to save for retirement. That gets my attention. It's just kind of a no-brainer for me right now. You know why? Because my job is contributing to my 401k. I just be giving money away. I enjoy what I do. I'm making the highest salary I've ever made in my life. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Truly grateful. And I'm grateful that they contribute towards it. It gives more time to save for retirement. Social Security was designed to provide only around 40% of your pre-retirement income. You'll almost certainly need other sources of income during your retirement years. Pushing back, if we push back on our retirement until age 67, and if we're taking care of ourselves, exercising, eating healthy, keeping our teeth into old age, taking care of dental hygiene, chances are, because we're taking care of ourselves and being intentional, 67 is not old. The life expectancy can easily go into 80s and 90s. My mom, in January, she's 100. Her sister passed away a couple of months ago. She was 103. People are living longer. They're exercising. They're eating better. They're taking responsibility for their own personal health, and they're keeping their teeth into their old age. Pushing back your retirement until age 67 will allow you to stock away more money into your 401k and your Roth IRA or other retirement accounts. It could also help the money you've already invested grow more. That blessed me when I looked. I said, oh, that's the dividends that I got over that particular quarter. Yeah, I got excited. And it's never too late to start. So what we're talking about, plan. Listen, we can consider consulting with a financial advisor the closer we get to retirement to determine the best way to invest those funds. If you want to maximize your Social Security benefits, you can delay and wait until you're 70 to begin collecting that check. This approach will boost your monthly benefit by 24%. That got my attention. There's a potential downside to holding off, though. If you don't live long enough, your cumulative lifetime Social Security benefits could be less than if you had begun receiving benefits earlier. Listen, this kind of conversation trips some people out, and they're like, oh, God, I haven't started all I'm counting on is Social Security. I haven't started any 401k, haven't started a Roth IRA. Start. There's certain things I didn't start till I got in my 50s, but it's working for me. Start somewhere. Listen, from our clinical perspective, we're going to take a few minutes to look at this. We have been looking at the angle of how we get overwhelmed. This kind of conversation is like, oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm not saving anything. People, how can they save? They're living paycheck to paycheck. They got to eat. They got to put gas in the car. Are they going to pay for extracurricular activities for their children? They've got to pay back school loans. They want to start school. Lord God, help us all. Speaking of helping us all, what would happen if we support each other and all of us having a self-care plan? Do you have one? I do. I became very intentional, and I am serious about mine. I want to live to be an old, spry woman. Yeah, but it doesn't happen by chance, my fellow Americans, my brothers and sisters in Christ. We have to be intentional. So here's the question. What will I do for self-care? We're talking about that clinical perspective. Self-care. Stick to the basics and add certain self-care activities to your calendar. It may be you gotta go to bed and get some sleep. Exercising as appropriate for your own health, eating healthily, keeping your teeth until your old age. That means you're going to floss. I got a regimen. Boy, these people that sell dental floss and certain kind of toothpaste, I'd be a poster child because I invested in my mouth to get my gums healthy. Flossing, the go-betweens, I dip them in Listerine. I got a routine, and I had some issues going on, and I had to go to a periodontist, and he said, "You are my poster girl." I said, "Well, we need to make a commercial, doc." Yeah, because I saw the value of keeping my teeth until my old age, because if you don't take care of them, if your teeth go bad and your gums go bad, it can affect your heart. So exercising, eating healthy, keeping your teeth until your old age, spending time with loved ones, using relaxation exercises, and practicing meditation. And see, when you say that, people go, "Uh-oh, she's talking about meditation." Listen, the Bible talks about meditating a lot. Meditating on that word. Yes, I am the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus, and greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I can meditate on that and talk myself right out of some anxiety. Here's another question about your self-care. Who can I call at any time? Do you have somebody you can call? Identify people in your life who you trust and can talk to about anything, the good, the bad, the ugly, at any time. We need that. If you don't have anybody in your immediate circle, support groups are amazing. I've talked to you all about how I went to an Al-Anon group for 6 months every week and got a sponsor. Changed my life because I lost most of my family to addiction. And it affected me. But that support system was a lifeline, and I learned so much. And I learned so much by having a sponsor, and I worked those steps. It changed me. It was a part of my self-care. Here's another question. Who can I reach out to if I need more help? Identify who you can call if you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or sad. This may include a loved one, a coach, a teacher. It may be a mental health professional. As you start to think about what activities you want to include in your self-care plan, it can be helpful to explore domains. Brainstorm with people, programs, activities. Here are examples of domains. Intellectual domain, emotional domain, occupational domain, environment, community, physical, financial, spiritual. Those are areas of functioning within our being that might be helpful if we pay attention to and be intentional and support each other, guys. Support each other in these areas. Remember, everyone's self-care plan is going to be different, and that's okay. We're individuals. Equally important, don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask for help. Sometimes I got about 5 people. Five. And they know Janice, because I'll say, "You know what? I need to hear what I'm thinking. I need to hear what I'm thinking." And I get answers. When I say that and I start talking to those people that are close to me, God talks to me. True story. They'll say something and I was like, God just spoke through you. That's the truth. Reach out to these supportive people in your life. Discuss, tell them what you're going to do. Tell them what you're challenged with. Talk to each other. This can make a difference. What have we looked at tonight? We're on a journey. This is a fact-finding journey. We're dissecting Social Security. Every family in America, in some shape, form, or fashion, is affected by Social Security, particularly if you work. And we found out that even if you don't work, you might still qualify for some benefits. So what we're doing, we're empowering ourselves with knowledge. And we're looking at the clinical angle of how we have self-care to support each other regarding retirement. Being intentional to plan it, to think it through. Being intentional to support each other. Being intentional as we fast and we pray for each other in our great nation. Because we are one nation under God. It's indivisible. The enemy's plan is to keep us divided. But we're indivisible with liberty and justice for all as we go from destruction to dignity. I'll see you next week. Good night.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of From Destruction to Dignity with Janice Pons. Janice's mission is to provoke thought, bring awareness, and point people towards intervention when needed. As a reminder, this show is not therapy, but for educational purposes only. For more information, check out JanicePons.com or follow her on social media.
Education, affirmation, dedication, information, revelation. A new nation. We are God empowered. Strength is ours. Liberty, been set free. Education, affirmation, dedication.